Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pretend Problems Podcast. I am Chad Daniels.
I am Kelsey Cook.
Both of those things are true.
Yes.
This is a podcast, if you're just joining us for the first time, if you haven't watched the first one, it's a podcast about us just hanging out. We are in a relationship. We are both comedians. And we are just kind of talking, answering some questions from listeners and viewers, and getting to the bottom of love.
Yes. And whether certain problems are pretend problems or legit problems.
Sure. Now, if you write us or call in, we will not judge your problems as pretend problems, but I like to start fights.
He's so good at it.
I like to start fights. And sometimes when I'm done fighting about it, I go, oh, fuck, that wasn't even a problem. That should not have been a fight.
I really appreciated what you said today. You almost started a fight with me, but it was, I believe, a pretend problem fight.
Okay.
But you caught yourself, and after you kind of reset, you came back into the kitchen, and can I share what you said?
I don't even remember what I said. I must have been full of fucking rage. This sounds like a real problem. I blacked out.
You had felt earlier today that you couldn't do anything right. That you felt that I thought you couldn't do anything right.
No, I think I just felt like I couldn't do anything right.
Oh, okay. And I was kind of lumped into that.
I mean, you were making most of my thoughts happen.
Okay. So that surprised me because I didn't know I was making you feel that way. And so we talked about it more. And I said, I didn't know you were feeling that way. I never mean to make you feel that way. And you said, I think I sometimes have a tendency to speak hyperbolically.
Oh, that's true.
And that probably wasn't accurate. And I thought that was really really honest of you to know yourself well enough to take a step back and go, you know what? That probably was an exaggeration of how I really felt.
Sure, I think so, because I know I do things correctly. I know I do things right. And so for me to say that out loud felt disgusting and wrong.
It really went against your true nature as a winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Chad's a real winner.
That sounded sarcastic. Can I explain part of the way I thought that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have winder. We ain't got no window coverings in here.
It's because we live in a shack.
Winder? Holy shit. Mama, the snow's coming through the winder. What in the fuck is wrong with me? So, God, your white trash is rubbing off on me.
You're white trash. We need to talk about your tattoo at some point this episode. But don't even start with me.
But that one I have
don't even start with me on the white trash.
That's fine. So we don't have window coverings in our home, which was a fantastic selling point because there's so much natural light in this house. However, natural light is not welcome in this house at 5:30 in the morning. It's not welcome.
It's not.
You're not welcome here, son.
Go on now, get.
Are you telling me that it takes 7 minutes for your light to get from you to me and it's still that fucking bright? Shut it down a little bit. And so the whole wall in our bedroom is a window. So what I did in the rain, because it's been raining for 5 straight days, so we didn't have a choice. There are little eye holes, little eye screws, right, up above the window. And so I went outside, couldn't use a ladder because they are positioned in ridiculous places. One of them's right over stairs. One of them is over the deck. Yeah. So I was going to stand on the railing, and I looked down, and I thought, that's a long ways if I slip, because it was wet.
It felt like it was designed by Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Yeah.
It was injuries were trying to be created.
This was a fucking dare.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one. Mm-hmm. I dare you to put something up here.
In the rain, no less.
So I grabbed, do you remember what I did? So here's what I had to do. I had to take a shoelace. This is going to be too long of an explanation.
Probably.
Okay. I had to take a shoelace. I taped a battery, AAA, right? And then I put it in a snow scraper, the brush of it, and I held it up and I threaded it. And then I got it. I pulled it down. I tied it to the tarp, pulled it up, tied a knot in the other end, fucking stuck it in a crevice in the deck. And then I spent 45 minutes cutting up cardboard boxes in the garage.
Yeah.
To get those out into the recycling. And then last night, you asked me a question.
What did I ask you?
You said, if I unload the dishwasher, can you load it? And I thought, I don't think my things are counting. I don't know that I'm doing this right.
Oh my God. Is that really what you thought?
No, but I did want that exact reaction. This is a pretend problem, everybody.
But you must have thought it.
Oh, no. I didn't. I just thought it would be funny to say that right now, to watch you go, oh, God, and stare off into the corner.
That's a pretty good impression of me.
Thank you. Trust me.
The way you hit that God, I was like, huh? Oh, that was...
Yeah. Catch me in the shower with my music on, working on impressions of you.
Man, I just feel like I'm sure we will talk about love languages a lot throughout this podcast. And
Sure.
I think you're all of them, but I think acts of service is really a top one for you.
My top love language, at least what I've understood,
is straight
is
fucking.
fuck you. Oh. Oh, I guess.
I went more for the...
Started off the same, but... I guess I don't know what mine really are. Here's the problem. I love words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Don't trust them.
Oh, no.
That's true. So for me, I think my giving is acts of service.
Mm-hmm. But you trust my words of affirmation.
Sometimes. Listen, here's the thing. You will say this. Not sometimes, most of the time. You will say things like, oh my God, you look so nice. And I go, I just came from a mirror. Are you out of your fucking mind right now? So when you say stuff like that, then I go, well, listen, I know that's not true. So now I have to go back and go through the other ones.
Mm-mm.
That's how I do it.
But you know that you have a very harsh image of yourself.
Yeah, but I also know...
why do you think yours is more accurate when you know that you see yourself through a negative lens?
But not
why
always.
Would that?
I see myself through a negative lens when I look like shit. Today I came in here and I said, because I just got a haircut, and I go, what should I do with my hair? And you go, it looks fine. And I was like, all right. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
This
is how you get a compliment out of people.
Pulling teeth to get a compliment accepted by him.
And your love language is, I would say, words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. And that's giving and receiving. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are a top and a bottom in that.
Verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So you're like Tasmanian devil around the house, but in the best way. Like you're just constantly doing things and fixing things and making things. And it's like, I feel like I can't keep up in terms of acts of service. Like I just don't do that many things in that way.
Okay.
Why are you smiling like that?
Well, there's a couple acts of service you could.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's so funny. It's just so funny because you're so not that person. It's like, really,
I know.
I'm gonna go for a beach right now. You're just not that guy to ask for anything like that. So it's funny when you pretend to be.
I'm more of the, listen, if there's any part of you that doesn't want to do this, let's wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder if you feel okay talking about this. I thought we had a really interesting conversation maybe a week or so ago about sex.
Yeah.
And how
turn it off, kids.
Parents,
turn
family,
it off.
siblings, kids, turn it off. We were talking about how you sometimes have hesitancy around initiating
Right.
because you don't trust that if I'm not in the mood, that I won't tell you.
Right.
And one of your biggest fears, or like, I don't know if I would say fear, but a thing you hate the most is the idea of me having sex with you if I don't actually feel like having sex with you.
I would rather my penis get caught in a meat grinder than have sex with someone that is just like, I'm doing this because I'm a good girlfriend.
Just like apathetic
That
sex.
fucking makes me so grossed out.
Yeah.
I just want the person to be into it. I don't need sex. I'm not walking around the house grunting and rubbing up on corners. Just like, I just gotta touch it just a little. So when we're doing, I just want everybody to be, not everybody, we're not having orgies over here, but you know, I just want I want you to, I want you to, be into it.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked about, so when I was younger, our house was getting renovated. They were redoing the basement, which I'm not sure that ever got paid for. Sorry, Craig. And, my sister and I had to sleep on the couch in the living room, but I've had trouble sleeping my whole life when there's noise. I need it very quiet. I need a fan. I need all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I heard one time my dad say to my mom, if you don't have sex with me tonight, I'm not going to your parents this weekend.
Oof.
Which is tough, right? Because then you're like, well, what the fuck is that? You're a little kid and you go, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing about all of it is my dad was at her parents,
Ugh,
which means they fucked.
That's some sex math that you didn't want to add up.
That's gross.
Should we also let the listeners know that your dad is not in the picture anymore? Like there's no...
Oh, sure.
There will be no...
My dad's not going to call me unless it's a Ouija board. He's dead.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that. You just
It was very funny.
made it funny, but it's heavy thing.
This is a pretend problem that we're having right now.
Yeah.
But there is a thing. So you've said this before where you said, I was like, I know there are bigger problems in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said to me, well, that's not fair. We don't weigh problems against other problems. How'd you say it?
I like the quote that says, don't, like just because you have a broken arm and somebody next to you is in a full body cast, that doesn't mean that you don't have a broken arm. Like everybody has their own problems.
Right.
And comparing it to other people just to try to make your own problems feel like they're not valuable or worth discussing isn't helpful.
I would also like to throw out there, if you have a broken arm and somebody's in a body cast and you're like, oh, my arm is broken, you're such a twat.
No,
I think that's ridiculous.
That's not the message of the quote.
I know it's not, but that is like wild to think you would not use that information to be like, thank God I only have a broken arm.
And that's true, and that might be how you feel, but it's just the purpose of that particular quote is to be like,
it, but it's hard to go like, well, yes, there are people starving in the world, but you know what? You didn't get a large fry. You got a medium fry, and that's serious. You paid for a large.
Yeah.
That's wild to think like someone's encouraging that person to have that problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's true. Okay, so we've started talking about this.
I would drive out of the drive-through, park my car, and walk in to get my large. Let me be very clear.
Chad takes fries very seriously. So I was really glad we had that conversation though, because then it made me realize that you have preferred when I initiate sex, because then that fear is put to rest because you're like, oh, she's clearly like, she is the one making the move for this to happen. I know for sure that she wants this to happen. But you are worried that if you initiate with me and I go along with it, that I'm not like actually in the mood.
It just, it seems like it's like you're just pumping away and it's not going great for whatever. But even when you say I'm horny, you will say to me, I'm horny. And I'll go, me? We're like, you want me to go in there with you?
Looking around at our empty house.
No, I just think, I mean, I don't know if you're going to go handle your business or.
No, well,
I know that now. I'm telling you, this is a tough one for me.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm saying I'm glad we talked about it, because we're going to be together forever. And I don't always want to, I mean, I don't feel like I always do, but I want you to feel like you can initiate with me, because that's a nice feeling too, to be on the receiving end of that.
How many times do you have to say no for me to take it seriously?
Wow.
One? Just one time? Okay.
Just
got
once.
it. Yep.
So we've had some things happen since our last episode. We've been some places.
Yeah.
We've done some things.
Yeah, we have.
We went to the state fair, and I was talking about it with somebody who we saw afterward, that going to the state fair feels like getting baptized as a Minnesotan. Like that is the true marker of like, I officially live in Minnesota.
Yeah,
now.
but it's not holy water. They just dip your head in a fryer.
Yeah.
Because everything is fried. We had some really good food. I try to stay away from some of it normally. So I have gone there a bunch of times, and I'm just in line at the food places nonstop. Just getting fried candy bars, all that shit. I did have Sweet Martha's cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
I got the little cone, not the bucket. And then here's how many cookies they give you. I ate the cookies down to the cone sleeve thing. Mm-hmm. And that was still full, and I had to be done. I had to throw those away because I was ready to barf already. So
it's bonkers. Can we discuss the money that woman makes? So what did you tell me?
I believe she makes $4 million just at the state fair.
That is fucking wild.
I can't tell you if it's gross or net. I guess I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the number. That's the number I've heard.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's, she's doing it right. She knows what she's doing. She gives you so many goddamn cookies, but she also like, it's kind of a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you get,
it's
smart.
Yeah.
Because you walk away feeling like, well, I did get $20 worth of cookies, but you're not going to eat $20 worth of cookies when you're walking around the fair.
You eat the top off the bucket, like the mound, and then you put the cover on the bucket and bring it home. Sure. That's the way to go. But god damn, there's so many cookies.
Yeah.
And we also played some games.
Yeah.
You dominated the games. Old free play cook over here. If you ever don't want to spend money playing games, why don't you go with a hot chick? Because these slimy fucking carnies. Let me tell you something. I'm teasing. But there was one guy where you won the big prize. We already had two prizes, and then this guy let her play until she won, and then let us trade in the two smaller prizes for a big prize at his stand. I'm going to tell you something. You know my theory. I don't think it was his stand.
99% sure that he did not even work there. I feel like we got Better Call Saul. I feel like that was just wear a similar outfit, pop back there, see what happens.
I think what happened was the guy that was supposed to work there looked at his stand buddy, which is like next door, and he goes, "I'm going to go take a piss, John. Watch my stand." And then John was like, "Whatever, Harold." And then Harold took off to pee, and then this other guy was like, "Well, I'll try."
Yeah.
And then he came in and he goes, "Hey there, pretty lady. I'll let you play till you win. Come on over here." Just nonstop. It was wild. And because I got charged full tickets for everything.
They are so expensive, by the way.
What they do is it's so brilliant because like a casino, right, with chips, you look at a chip and you go, this can't be $100. It's the same size as my $1, which is the same with dollar bills. I understand that. But, and you just spend. And so that's what you do. They make you get a card. They make you put points on a card. Each point is $1. And so you're walking over and they go, it's just 5 points. And you go, 5 points?
Yeah.
I have 70 points.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're paying $5 to shoot a basketball into a smushed rim. One basketball, you get one shot. Listen, when I was a boy, I hate to be this guy, but you got 3 fucking shots at every chance.
Me too.
It was like $2 for 3 balls, and you really had a shot at winning because listen, if I give you $5 and then you give me a little basketball that's $4, it seems like I've lost.
Yeah.
Even if I've won.
You should tell them about the strategies they're using now too to get people to play, and like how much more aggressive it was.
Oh, yeah. So normally you're walking around the midway, and these gamers are like, "Hey, come on over and play. Hey, I bet you can't pop this balloon." That's as far as they would take it.
Right.
And now it is full like, "Oh, I didn't think I saw a dick in your pants, you pussy. You don't even want to try it, huh? I bet she leaves you for a real man in 4 seconds. 3, 2, $1 to win, everybody." I mean, they use it to their advantage. It's crazy how aggressive they are.
Yeah, I had not seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But I love that shit so much. I had so many people. I had posted pictures from the fair, and I had so many people commenting like, "Oh, do you think it was gross? Do you think it's whatever?" And it's like, I come from foosball people. Like that carny atmosphere it's my favorite. We would go to Vegas for the Hall of Fame foosball tournament year after year, and we stayed at Circus Circus. I'm sorry, did I stay there? No, we would stay at the Riviera across the street, and then my mom would take us over to Circus Circus. Have you been there?
I have. Your mom, International and American Foosball Hall of Fame, like the premier player in foosball.
Well, I'm
saying premier. I'm sticking with it. You can call me off it if you want. I don't give a shit.
There are people who have won more titles, but look at her. She's right there. Her foosball almanac is on the floor. I mean, she is known as the historian of the sport of foosball.
Legend.
She's a legend. She's a foosball legend. So between foosball matches, she would take my brother and I over to Circus Circus, and we would play the carnival games over there. So my house's basement growing up was just because we would get back on the plane with a garbage bag full of all the stuffed animals we won. So I love this shit. It is a white trash home feeling.
Yeah. I love when you're like, "I just love Las Vegas." And I go, "It feels white trash to me." And you get mad at me, but you got on an airplane using a garbage bag for luggage.
Yeah. I know that Vegas is white trash, but I love it.
Oh, okay.
It's such a special place.
It is. Yeah.
But I feel like we should, at this point, discuss something that we've been talking about lately, which is one of your tattoos. Because we've been throwing around kind of like who is more white trash between the two of us.
Right.
And you have a tattoo.
I do. Am I allowed to reply to this?
If you want, that's your choice.
All right. Let's hear it.
I will say Chad has 2 white trash tattoos.
Yeah, big time.
One of them, I actually, it's so funny. I said that you
Tasmanian
cleaned
Devil.
this house like the Tasmanian Devil. How old were you when you got that one?
I had just turned 18.
So was that your first?
First one. I got it from a guy that his name was Swede, and this was out in Colorado, and he was number 57 for the Chicago Bears, and he had played against Dick Butkus, which is he got made fun of so much in school.
For sure.
Dick Butkus. But anyways, he became a football player because of it, and a very good one, Hall of Famer. And so this guy, he gave us the tattoo, and then the other one you're referring to, so that one is Tasmanian Devil, and then the other one you're referring to, I believe I was, I think I was 19 maybe.
Okay. So that was your second.
Yeah.
And Chad has Chester the cheetah wearing a Herschel Walker jersey.
When he played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about it or? No? Okay. Well, I have started to talk about it on stage because I have started to talk about the fact that I'm dating a Chad and that I never thought in my entire life as a comedian that I would end up with somebody named Chad because it's just such an easily made fun of name.
Mm-hmm. It sure is, Kelsey.
I know. I said it in the clip.
and I'm dating Kelsey. Kelsey, kiss the sky.
I know. I have a basic bitch white girl name. I know.
I love when you say basic bitch. It makes me laugh a lot.
Oh, well, it is true. I know this. I know that that was, I think it was the most popular name the year I was born. So very unoriginal. But
here's what I had going. Chad, who was an actor in a soap opera. His real name was Chad, and he was the guy on the old commercials that say, "I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV." He was the first person to say that.
Oh, that's who you're named after.
Chad Everett, maybe? Anyways, that's who I'm named after. And then my dad wanted me to be named Elgin after Elgin Baylor, the basketball player. And he only decided he wanted me to be named Elgin after my mom insisted that she would not get an abortion.
Oh my God.
Just imagine those are the options. You don't want to have that baby come out of you? Let's name him Elgin. I mean,
your dad has really reached MVP status this episode. Just through and through. Oh, Lord. I'm so glad you turned out the way you did. You could have gone down so many other roads, and we all just really love you.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like I can't do anything right.
Oh, my God. I'll do the dishes both ways next time. I'll load and unload. Fuck me. God.
Hey, is that an offer?
Yes.
Cut the camera.
I've been waiting.
Like, she's ready.
Okay, so I was saying on stage, I can't believe I ended up with somebody with your name, but that you're so wonderful and that you're so like non-douchey. Mm-hmm. But I say that I feel like you've outgrown some of your douchiness because of your tattoo. So I do feel like there was a time in your life where you kind of were a true Chad, and those tattoos are okay. And I also talk about how you don't even have to look at your tattoo, like you don't have to see that tattoo because it's on your shoulder,
right? But
that I have to see it every day, and that every morning the first thing I see when I open my eyes is the Cheetos mascot, and that despite coming from a family of professional football players, that tattoo is the most white trash thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
Well, that's because you didn't get to watch yourself getting onto an airplane with a garbage bag for luggage. But what I would like to say is I have battled in the past, not really anymore, but with body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I will sleep with a shirt on, mm-hmm. just so no one else has to deal with my body. And then look at the look. And then she'll go, take your shirt off. I love it. Just take your shirt off. You look so great. And then now this bullshit. Every morning I have to see a tattoo. This could lead us into another topic.
Oh, yes.
This body dysmorphia is, we just got pictures taken.
I was thinking about that. I was wondering how that went for you mentally.
Historically, so you know that I was grumpy
mm-hmm.
on the flight the day leading up to it because I wasn't looking forward to it. I fucking hate getting my picture taken. I had a drink and pancakes at the same table. I had a vodka soda and pancakes, which was awesome. Because I was like, I'm not going to eat. I don't want to look puffy for these pictures. And then we found this breakfast place. I'm like, pancakes? You can get booze here? Vodka soda. I just was like, who fucking cares at this point?
I have to tell them what happened leading up to that, though.
Okay.
So we were, traveling, and I could tell that he was kind of grumpy. And I was just kind of, like letting him have his time with it. And then, but I knew that you hadn't eaten,
right? Which
doesn't help anybody's mood when they haven't eaten. And we were not going to be done taking pictures until like probably 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I've got some tangerines and I've got some granola bars. Do you want anything? And you're like, nope, I'm not eating until afterward. And I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, he's in a bad mood, so I'm not going to push it with him. But he's being so short-sighted right now to think only of like, I don't want to look puffy in these pictures, so I'm going to starve my body until 7 p.m.
To be fair, I didn't mean like my face or anything. I just didn't want to be bloated from food.
I know.
And then I thought, well, I'm probably bloated from food on stage, so who fucking cares? Let's look normal.
Okay.
So then I ate go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I felt like if you were thinking more like your usual self, you would have known that eating a tangerine or a protein bar wasn't going to make you bloated, but it was going to like level your blood sugar and just make you feel a little bit better. So anyway, but he's like insisting on not having any of these snacks. And I'm just like, trying to just let him. It's hard when you are in a relationship and you know what would make the person feel better, but you also can't control them and know that they are their own person. And so you're just kind of like,
Thank you for realizing that.
you're welcome, sassy man. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to let him come to his own conclusions. And then we sat down to eat, and I was like, well, I'm fucking eating for sure. I had already eaten a giant smoothie on the way to the airport. I eat every like 2 hours a full meal. And so we sat down at a restaurant, and I ordered a whole bunch of shit. And then
I got huevos
like,
rancheros,
vodka and pancake. I was like, hey, all right. Hey.
and I was like, "Can I get one pancake?" They're like, "Comes in 3." I was like, "I'll take 3 pancakes."
I'll take 7.
And then I was like, "I'll only eat one of them." Ate all of them, and then had a vodka soda, and then was puffy and didn't give a shit. So then we
You were not though.
but then we go, and I will tell you this: you are so good at just riding out my insanity until it levels out. You're really helpful, very complimentary, all that stuff, like very touchy, very like, holding my hand, calm me down. You know, that stuff calms me down. Sound like and I sound like I need a service animal.
Yeah.
And then
You're licking my face. You
we
know
get
I love when you lick my face.
we get there, and then Todd, the photographer, is like real unbelievably super funny, making me laugh a whole bunch. And his wife was there, and they just made everything so comfortable.
Yep.
And I loved it. I loved some of the pictures they took, and they knew what was going to look good for me specifically and what wouldn't, and what colors and all that stuff. And it was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get the pictures. One of them is going to be the cover of the podcast photo. So you guys will be able to look at it on your phone as you listen to this.
It is very funny to me though, how when you look at my pictures, cause we both got pictures taken individually and then together. My pictures, I have one look on my face for the entire 15 photo burst.
Yeah.
It's just like, you can't even tell they're different pictures.
Right.
And then you look at yours and somehow you like, if I sat with my mouth open like this, I look like I might as well have some barley sticking out of it. Some like a wheat thing.
Or you're waiting for somebody to Photoshop a dick. Yeah.
And when you do it, it's like, well, why is that so sexy?
Oh, thanks.
And then you have all these different looks. And I was trying to do some of them in the mirror and just giggling my dick off because it is absurd to try to make those faces and expect no one to make fun of you as a dude.
Yeah, I will say I think there is a double standard for guys and girls getting pictures taken. Like if you were to go full out like male model and Zoolander and do all these faces, it would, I think especially as a male comic, there is an even deeper level of stigma of like, just fucking fold your arms and look at the camera, funny man. Like nobody's trying to, that makes sense. But I will say also, on our way to get breakfast when you were still in your bad mood, Chad requested a lift, and the lift was taking a really long time to get here, and I was already just like feeling, I was like, oh, this is not going to be good.
So it started off 7 minutes, and then 10 minutes later it was 7 minutes, and I was like, did this motherfucker accept the ride when he's still in bed? And now he's just getting ready, showering, brushing his teeth, just waiting to come get us? Like, let's fucking chop. That should be illegal.
Right. Well, as we discussed in the first episode, Chad has very strong feelings about all things driving. And
just get there.
And so if you think Chad's an intense driver, Chad is an even more intense passenger. And so this guy pulls up, who Chad is already not pleased with because he's taken a long time. And he comes out of the car wearing a mask that is below his nose and is like coughing hard, like right away, a wet cough, and then grabbing our bags. And we were just like, like it was too late. We just needed to get out of there. We'd waited long enough.
Yep. And
then we get in this tiny car. He is, how would you describe the through the nose coughing, breathing? How you were like, dude, it's That's all connected coming out
Yeah.
your nose now.
First of all, I want to be very clear. If you have COVID, I don't care if you give it to me. I'm like, I think my body can handle COVID.
Okay.
It was just so ridiculous that he had the mask here,
Yeah.
right? So just under his nose. But then he would try to hold the cough in and purse his lips. And so he'd go. So all that shit was coming right over the thing. And again, I don't care. I know people get colds. I know I'm going to get colds. That does not matter to me. It is the ass hattery that goes with having a mask on and then just fucking circumventing it.
It's like do it or don't.
Right.
Either wear the mask and wear it right, or just be like, fuck you guys. I'm working today and you're going to get it.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah. We were just back there. It was probably like a 45-minute drive, and Chad was just, pressure cooking.
Yeah. I would rather they shut the doors, lock them all, make sure the windows are up, and then turn around and go right in our face and be like, listen, now you have it. I'm going to be coughing. Fucking cool your jets because you already have it. I would rather that take place.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Well, on that note, should we answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions.
Answer some questions. So, like we said at the beginning of the show, please write into pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. And we will do our best to answer your relationship issues, your dating questions, whatever it is.
Yeah. Now you might see how I handle things and go, Chad, we don't want your input. And that's fine. But she's very good at it.
Well, thank you. Okay. One question we have is, how soon is too soon to live together?
I don't think there's a too soon.
Oh, okay.
Because if you meet at a bar and then go home and all of a sudden you're like, the next morning you're like, I don't want you to leave. Mm-hmm. In a not a creepy way. Yeah. Just like,
get in the cage.
Don't leave. I think that if you can make it work, great. I don't know that there's rules for that kind of stuff, right? Some people want to wait a year. If you want to get the ropes course, get in there, make it happen.
I am so shocked by your answer because you were the polar opposite of that in our relationship.
I'm talking about for other people.
Oh, how convenient.
Do you want to know for me?
Well,
I think you should make sure, number one, you have to be financially ready for this, because if you sign a year lease and things go south 3 months in, you're going to have to eat that 9 months of rent.
Yeah.
So you have to be, if you can do that and you want to see how it's going to go for it.
Yeah.
I personally think you should know some things about the person, right? If it's me, you should know, like,
do they
will you unload the dishwasher?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
And load it.
I cannot believe we both had the same callback.
Are things only going to be 50-50 when it is for one person? You got to know those kind of questions.
I knew it. I can't believe you got it before I did. Damn it. I wanted it. I was so excited. I was like getting all excited to say it.
I could see it in your eyes, so I didn't even breathe. I went right for it.
Got in there so fast. Damn it. I was just saying, it surprised me because I feel like you were really, really insistent on going very slow, you and I.
Well, I have some other things going on. I have I have children.
Sure, yes.
I want to make sure that I am being a good example and all of that stuff. And at the time, I was living in a place where you wouldn't want to live. I was living in northern Minnesota.
True.
Minnesota's fantastic, but living there, you have to drive 3 hours to the airport, and that's what we do. So there were just some different things that I needed to figure out for me. But if my friend came over and said, holy shit, met this girl, we're fucking moving in, I'd be like, great, you need some help moving? I mean, I don't judge that kind of shit. It's just up to the individuals. Yeah.
I ultimately am glad that we moved as slow as we did. We just celebrated our year anniversary about a month ago. Mm-hmm. Well, when this comes out, it was August 1st was our anniversary. But I can move more quickly in relationships, and the fact that you wanted to go slow, it was hard for me. Mm-hmm. I see your smirk.
I'm smirking because you said I can go fast in relationships and then peeled your eyes away and didn't look at me for the next 3 sentences.
Because I knew when I looked up you were going to be smirking. I knew it. I know I can. And so you kind of forced things to be slower. And that was frustrating because I wasn't used to that. But I am actually really glad because, we're planning on this being it. And it's really exciting to like truly enjoy all of those beginning moments and just to realize there isn't a rush.
Right.
But we started long distance, and I think that was probably it's so hard. I know we talked about that. Maybe we could do a whole episode about dating long distance and
right
the things that come with that. But
and it's surprising that I was the one that didn't want to rush because I'm closer to the finish line.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm having a 3/4 life crisis over here. Slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think personally there are pros and cons. I think if you start living together too soon, you can take away some of that early magic that is very fun when you don't live together. It's like you can get ready for a date on your own and then that person picks you up and it's a whole thing. When you start living together, it's a whole different kind of fun and magical, but it's like, I think you start to get very comfortable very fast.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be getting ready for your 3rd date while someone's shitting in the same bathroom.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, that's the real like, too soon.
Yeah. I think there's a too soon, but maybe it's not a big deal for you. Who knows? Okay, let's do, what time is it? Let's do one more. Okay. And then we will wrap up this episode. I think we'll usually be able to do more questions per episode, but our dog had to have emergency surgery, and then now he's getting, what's he doing? Training for boarding school?
Yeah, so he has to have an assessment to see if he can be boarded at this place, but it's right next to the vet that did the surgery. Okay. So that's why I want him there.
Yeah.
He had an anal gland abscess. Have you ever heard the phrase, chew him a new asshole? That happened.
That happened.
So they had to cut a new butthole into the dog, go in through the back like a goddamn bank robbery, through the sidewall, and then make sure that was taken care of. So I have to go get him.
Yeah. Craziness. Mm-hmm. And you are the greatest dog dad in the world and real human dad in the world. And
thank you so much.
It's just snuck up out of nowhere.
Yep.
Such a random, weird thing. Okay. How do you fight nice or have an argument without it escalating?
What do you think?
I think that you and I do a really good job of, there are some just like foundational boundaries that we have never crossed, and I don't foresee us ever crossing, but like you keep it up. We'll see what happens. We don't raise our voices at each other.
True.
We don't swear at each other. True. We don't threaten to leave.
In a fight. We'll swear and stuff like that. Yeah. But in a fight, we're not. In a fight. Yeah.
We don't swear at each other. We don't threaten to leave the relationship. Like that's never, the relationship is never threatened. And I feel like that's a big thing. Mm-hmm. So we have some things that I don't think we ever even established that. I'm glad we both came into this with enough therapy and past relationship experiences to know I think I felt like I knew how to not fight after some of my past experiences. I don't know if you felt that way.
I do think there needs to be talks, but just fighting it seems like a waste of time. Yeah. It seems like you keep spinning your wheels. No, I think how to fight nice is you swallow your entire belief system and you say things like, no, I speak hyperbolically.
Yeah. We have some we established something a few months ago, which was that we agreed we weren't going to have any big conversations in the car, whether that's we're both in the car together or one of us is driving. We got that tip from another couple friend of ours who said that they have found that when they have big conversations in the car, it's really easy for things to get ramped up because you're in like confined space. You're navigating on the road. It's just, there's a lot going on. And I think if you bring up any sort of touchy subject during that time, there's a lot more room for it to...
The driver starts eyeballing the ditch a little more. It's just like, well, we could fucking roll through there pretty easily. You start looking at light poles. I wonder if I could knock that fucking thing down.
Yeah. So we don't...
No car fights.
We don't do car fights. And then we try to do... We don't do it every week, but every at least couple weeks, we do a check-in where we ask each other some questions. We should do that on the next episode. We should talk about the questions we ask each other.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I would say the biggest thing for fighting ice is cliffhanger is to establish boundaries of things that you will like trust that one another will never cross in a fight. And
ooh, teacher?
Yes.
A big one for me is when I am arguing and my thoughts are not organized, I can start spinning and I can start going really fast downhill. So I have found that when I write out my responses and I read them, there's no room to go faster and run downhill. Mm-hmm. And so that helps me a ton.
That's a really good one. Yeah, just I think I've changed a lot in this relationship versus ones in my past where I am okay now with something not being resolved right in that instant. If we are both feeling kind of ramped up about something, mm-hmm. It's okay to just be like, okay, let's keep talking about this later and just let it cool off. I used to feel like things had to get figured out right then, regardless of if it was a good environment to do it in. Okay, well, please subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, that's the way to get it out to more people. And then I think this has a potential to be really fun when we started getting a lot of questions, and start this little community where when we answer the questions, if you think you have a better idea, also send that in, and we can people helping people kind of a thing. So in order to have a bigger group to do that, if you subscribe and you leave a nice review, if it's warranted, I'm not asking for one that isn't, but if you like it, leave a review, and that helps us get seen by other people.
Yes, please. You can write into pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on social media. I'm at Kelsey Cook Comedy. Chad is...
I am at that Chad Daniels.
Yes. And come see us on tour. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay, bye.